We just released the game, and you guys have a lot of questions. Not just about M198, also about other stuff. So I figured, let's sit down with Thomas. He's my co-founder. You may not see him that much anymore lately, but he still also makes games, to talk about some of the things that have been happening that you guys have questions about, basically. And we're gonna start with a Slobby Monk, which is a very unique username. Is there anything you could have done to make M198 more successful? It was an impressive project, so congrats. I'm wondering if it could have been any better with the power of hindsight.
Short answer, yes, I think so. Mostly, I mean, we've talked about this in depth, or we will talk about this in depth.
We've talked about it. This video is gonna come out later.
Okay, perfect. So you can find it there. But if you want to get the gist of it, it's basically, yes, I think we've made some mistakes, both on communication as on game development, like the actual game itself. But I still think it's a successful game, so I'm pretty happy with it still. I do indeed think it's an impressive project for 100 days.
If you had to wave a magic wand, what would have been the one thing you would have changed before launch, now looking back?
Basically being the state that we are now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think, yeah.
Like if we just released the game with the service pack upgrade and without our less than optimal communication, I think that was it.
I think for me it would be having developed the end game a bit more and maybe neutering the demo a bit.
Yeah, that's also something.
We didn't talk about it in the main video, but
we are too generous, I'm sorry.
Our demo was like 1 hour average content. I think if we would have designed it to be 30 minutes instead, I think it would have also solved some problems.
Yeah, I think the delta between the demo and the actual game was maybe too little.
Next we have Funky Slot 2902. What's the most baller thing you've done since the release of M198? Cool sunglasses emoji.
Have you done anything baller?
Yeah, I feel like
we're so lean.
I think what he's thinking is like, oh, did you rent a Lamborghini? Or like, you know, yeah, I bought the Porsche today.
The most baller thing is we had like 35,000 total.
Yeah.
In debt. We paid that off.
We paid off the entire debt that BiteMe had, basically, in unpaid wages. That's actually a pretty baller thing, yeah.
That's the most baller thing.
I was gonna be something like the most baller thing I've done is I can just tell people now I've had more wishlist deletions than you will ever get wishlists.
But also what is really cool is I was I was like at a party with like the family from my girlfriend, and it was like, yeah, so you make games, right? So yeah, we released, it was like in the week that everyone was like, yeah, we made like 40,000 in 48 hours, in 24 hours. And they were like, what? It's like, it's such a baller thing to say. It's like, it doesn't mean anything because there's a huge fall-off, but it's and so cool.
You had zero revenue for the game until it came out as well.
But it's like, yeah, we made like $40,000 in 24 hours.
We can become like those influencer bros in Dubai now at this point. Yeah, just close a deal today.
Yeah. But the most baller thing is probably the unpaid wages. And by the way, it's not to someone external, it's to him and William.
Yeah. The next one, Thomas, is for you. It's from Thomas Guiton 4276 in this case. With the strategy of making multiple small games, is the risk of discrediting your name/studio making one very bad something you consider?
I don't think so. I think if there's ever a game that is so bad that it discredits BiteMe, I think we will update it. I think the worst game we've ever made is probably Forge Industry.
Yeah.
And it's the first game we made.
But it's a 67%. Does that like... Also...
I don't think the Steam rating is necessarily representable.
I think something else to keep in mind is like, how many people know Forge Industry? How many people on our YouTube channel even know we make Forge Industry?
Yeah.
I
don't think a lot of people remember or look on the developer.
Like, of course, I think one thing is, like, especially if we're going to like the same genre, if we would have not done anything for M198, it would have been stuck at 59%. Maybe some people would have been more wary if they already played M198 to then want to play the next game, because like, what's gonna happen? But I think the impact is not as big as you think it is, because there are so many ways people find out your games. A lot of them will not know about any of your other games. I think a lot of people don't know that like Kyoto Anomaly and Unicycle Pizza Time are made by the same developer, nor do they care.
I also think that unless you have like a big controversy where it's like actual press that covers it.
Yeah, and it's like studio-wide controversy, not game-wide.
Yeah, because it's like if you release such a bad game that you reach for some reason the news, like the press, and you release a new game, there will be articles saying the dev that made this horrible game is now making this game, and that's not good. But unless you go that far,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters that much.
Also, I like to think that we have a bar, like a standard, that we want to clear for our games.
Yeah, we're
So-
not like pure asset flip slop either, of like AI generated everything.
Yeah, that's at least what we like to believe. You're free to have
what
your
we-
own opinion.
That's what we tell ourselves when we go to bed.
Yeah. So not really.
Yeah, I think so as well. This is another one by Dino KKND. Assuming you continue creating games that do pretty well like MO98. I think it's done well, not pretty well. I think it's done well. How much would BiteMe games need to make per year to do well? I think we calculated this once, right?
I think.
I have a number in my head.
Okay.
I think BiteMe would need to earn a gross revenue, let's say, like including Steam gross, like 25 to 30K a month. So what is that? Times 12 is like 400K a year.
Yeah, I was thinking like.
That's gonna be you, me, and William all get good wages, not just surviving, good wages, and then we have like leftover capital for the company as well. That's like anything else that we make over that. I don't know, we would just give ourselves more money, I guess. What would we do if we make more money than that? Like if we already, like you, me, and William all get paid like 5,000 euro a month, that's already a solid number, I would say.
Net or gross?
Net.
Oh, that's a really good number.
Yeah, that's like, I think if we make 450K a year, I think that's kind of what we could do. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do we do with an extra 200,000 a year? I'm not fully certain because I don't know if it's another question.
Sounds like a luxury problem.
Yeah.
But I think the main cost of BiteMe is and should always be the three of us. I don't want to deviate too much from that. And if it's in wages, if it's in bonuses, if it's in a company car, I don't really know. I don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
I also think it can be, because we are all friends, like tailor-made to the person's, three of us. For example, you have a car and you say, I want a company car. It's like, sure. But William is like, I don't know if I drive a license. I don't really want a car. It's like, sure, you can get that money as
we figure out
extra wage or whatever.
That's the benefit of being HR and payroll as well.
I think it's just the benefits of being, like knowing each other before you start the company. And I also like to believe that none of us are like money greedy leeches. Yeah. Maybe that changes when the money comes in.
So yeah, I think the number of like doing really well for the company is 450K. I think if we make like 200K a year, let's say, gross, we can already do, I think that may not be enough for you to really go full time, but definitely me and William will be solid. Yeah. I think because you're more expensive.
Yeah, because I basically have a mortgage and I need to have a certain level of income. Yeah. Or it's like a big problem.
And then we also want to have enough like safeguard and all of that stuff, basically. ALX3 next up is I grouped these questions together somewhat. So what are the next steps to become $1 million studio? I think this was a very good question, honestly. Assuming MO98 earns 100K, do you plan to release 9 more similar games or do you have other plans? In other words, do you have plans to evolve BiteMe or is it more feasible to play safe and repeat what you did with MO98? So when I read this question, I was like, yeah, good point. I made like that video of like starting Gamedev in 2026, right? Like at the start of the year or like end of last year. And there I made that bold statement of like, BiteMe Games is going to be $1 million studio in 2026. And it was kind of just like, you know, a silly catchphrase because like all YouTubers have like, let's build the BiteMe army to 1 million subscribers or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna say it's $1 million
studio. But it's
studio.
also like, you're also willing something into existence, right?
But it's like, I have no plan. I don't actually know what it looks like to make BiteMe $1 million studio, to be honest.
I think I know what it looks like.
What's the next steps? 9 more MO98s?
No, it's just, I think the strategy is now we release like, let's say 4 games a year. Yeah. And we keep that pace for the next 5 years. I think at one point we will easily get to 1 million. I think bold statement. I think we're all like halfway past the year. We've made like 100K already. Mm-hmm. I think it's still possible that we make 900K in the next half because we still have a couple of games in the pipeline and no matter, like BiteMe is an incremental game. We made an incremental game, but BiteMe is an incremental game.
Every game is just a prestige.
Yeah, because it's like we made the first game, kind of sucked. The second one performed a bit better. Second one performed a bit better. UPT, great. We have a smaller hit. And then it's like, we go a bit worse again. Now we have the bigger hit. And I think we learn a lot. And I think just because we are making better games, or I like to believe better games, more polished, all those things, I think we will auto-magically reach it.
Yeah. So in his second sentence was like, do you have plans to evolve BiteMe, or is it more feasible to play safe and repeat what you did? I don't know if it's like play safe. I think the plan is to repeat what we did, kind of. Yeah. Short-scoped games.
Yeah. We've talked about this in a previous video, or next video, I don't know, on Patreon. But basically, the brief rundown of it is, I think we always, when we started BiteMe, planned on expanding.
Yeah.
And then for the last year, maybe 2, I don't know how long.
We don't have that desire
We don't
anymore.
want it anymore. It's like, we kind of just want to keep being the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of restraints because of that. But it's also like...
It's what we want.
Yeah, it's what we want. It might not be the best financial move. And I also think it's the, like, in one way or another, we are like super well oiled. We will add so much overhead that it's like, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I think like the term that I've been like learning more recently, like the last few months, is like BiteMe Games is a lifestyle business. So the way a lifestyle business, like what makes it different from a like other business basically, is like when we started BiteMe, have you seen the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds? Came out a few years ago, where he's like the video game character.
I think I saw like half of it on the plane.
So there's like the big evil antagonist is kind of like a game development studio, kind of like EA. And when I started BiteMe, I always was like, I want to be like those guys, the evil antagonist, because they had like the big studio when they were like hip and cool and whatever. And now I don't want to grow anymore, and I'd rather put more value in being like, hey, I don't want to work today, and that's fine. And that's kind of that lifestyle business where you will on purpose hinder almost the growth, or like be like, this is enough growth for the company. Yeah. I would rather never have to work on Fridays or something like that.
Okay, stupid example. My neighbor, he plays in a band. I saw them live once, and I actually think they're really good. And they have had offers in the past. And one of the reasons they said is, no, we don't want to do that. It's because they don't want to grow too far. And
you don't want to become like one of those assholes.
They don't want to become like hyper famous. They are known. They have like a cult following, so to say. It's like, let's say the size of the BiteMe audience now, but then they're like, everything over 50,000 subscribers, we don't want that.
Yeah, because it
doesn't feel, it's like, we still want to like work normally. We don't want to tour all the time. We want to do this because we like playing music.
Yeah.
And in some way, it kind of
we want to make games together. We want to make games with the boys. That's always my North Star now, is like, I want to be able to just sustainably make games with the people I like, the boys.
And usually when you hire people, you won't always like them.
Yeah, it's what we realized, like you suddenly can't text them on the weekends anymore, or at 10 p.m.
For example, we had interns a couple of years back.
We're not even doing interns anymore.
Yeah, we're not doing that anymore, even though it's free labor, so to say. Because in Belgium, internships are, by law, they have to be free.
It's illegal to pay them, before you witch hunt us.
Yeah, but like, I think it learned us a lot, because it's like, there are a lot of restraints.
We don't want to manage teams.
Yeah.
We don't want to do any of that shit.
Like, we are super simple people. We want to like boot up the PC, make game, that's it.
Yeah.
We don't want to go into Teams calls. We don't want to say, these are what you have to do in the next couple of weeks. We don't want to manage people. It's like, we don't really plan anything, by the way, guys. Like, we're like, this is the game we're going to make. And if I want to add, for example, a cat somewhere, I don't have to say like, hey, can I add a cat? Yeah. I just add a cat because I want it. And he's like, I want to add 2 colors for the cat. So he adds it. And it's like...
Yeah. So yeah, it's not like play safe. It's just we continue working the way we work. And for us, that is short-scoped games.
Yeah.
Because we also like, for us, it's like, we want to do more different games compared to making one game for 5 years. We know from ourselves, we get sick of making the same game for too long.
Like the game I'm working on now is the first game ever that I've spent more than half a year on and still like. And I don't know how long that liking will happen, but it's not 5 or 6 years, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's coming.
In 5 or 6 years, I want to be working on other games. Because one of the things that I like, also from when creating games, is you have different... this is such a long question. Is one of the things that I like is that every genre has their own way you need to tackle it. And like a lot of people say, just make games in the same genre, but then I think you lose a lot of the fun.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you rediscover on what makes the genre work, and you learn things about game design.
It's kind of like the lifestyle business of like, the smart move would be you're gonna choose, I'm only gonna make strategy games or incremental games, and you're gonna make better games, but it's like...
Yeah, we've received flack from exactly doing what we want to do in the past.
I think part of the reason why MMO98 is a good game is because it's not node slop. It's not the same incremental game everyone else is making. It's because we come in from these different genres of like, there's a little bit of like a management game in there, there's a little bit of like other games in there, but like, because we're not so like, we haven't boilerplated our main genre, so to say.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, it's...
Playway, for example, clear style of what kind of games they make. And we don't want to become that, for example.
We're gonna move on before we spend like even longer on it. This one is for you by Simtem Studios. Thomas, has anything changed in your mind about going full-time now that MO98 is successful? Or do you still want to carry on with your full-time job? Do people at your full-time job know about like, oh, I made $40,000 in 2 days?
Yeah, I told some people.
You're like, did you just come?
They're like, yeah, how did the launch go? I explained it to them. It's like, oh, damn. And it's like, yeah.
They're like, the clock is ticking, it's gone in a year.
I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's basically, has something changed? No, because it's not on a scale that really matters at the moment.
If there was a 0 extra at the end of the number.
As if there was 0 extra, I would definitely consider it. Do you still want to carry on with your job, your full-time job? I really love my job. I love the company I'm working for. And the customer I'm working for is all right. They have nice people though. So do you want to carry on? I've always said my full-time job is probably my second most favorite job because I really like working for the company that I'm working for. But number 1 is and will always be BiteMe. My employer knows this. So do you still want to carry on with your job? If BiteMe didn't exist, yes. If BiteMe existed, I want to work for BiteMe, obviously. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
I just imagine your like employer now buying like 10 Steam accounts to immediately like negative review all of our future games. So that you have to stay with them. Next up, Century 178. How did you and Thomas prepare for the start of your studio? I found this a very funny question. Ooh. Did the two of you just save up a bunch of money before and then rolled with it? Or was the prep really complex?
Okay, so a lot of these questions are really funny because you guys think we plan everything, but we just do things. I think one of the most stupid things people do is overanalyze things.
Yeah, how did we... Our prepare was so fucked.
Yeah, because like we were like, we want to do this.
We made games for 7 months before we incorporated.
Yeah, and it was like, we want to do this. And it's like, okay, William, are you on board? Jamie, are you on board? What are we going to do? Because it's like, we want to do this. So we continue regardless. And it was like, okay, so now what do we need? And it was like, okay, we contact the accountant. What do we actually need? And they're like, yeah, you need like some starting capital. And all of us were like, okay, let's keep it like a bit low.
2,500 euro starting capital.
Yeah, so that's basically nothing, by the way.
Look at Mr. Moneybags over here.
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean...
made $40,000 in 48 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours, 2,500 euros. It's nothing to me.
That's not what I mean.
Money is changing him. He's going to be insufferable next time he's on camera.
No, what I mean is, we all had full-time jobs back then.
Yeah.
Like for an actual company, not BiteMe.
Real big boy jobs.
Yeah. So it's like, for us at that moment in time, it was not like big. It's like $2,500, and it's like based on the equity you have in the company.
So you paid 925, I paid 750, William and Jamie 425 or something.
I don't know the exact numbers anymore, but it's something like that where it's like, relatively speaking, it's not that much. So we didn't really plan anything, and then later on it was like, oh damn, we need some more money for Gamescom, and then we just do it again.
I think all of our planning was like 2 hours or something, because the one thing that we did plan a bit was like, which kind of company are we doing? But this is a Belgian problem as well, or like a Europe problem. If you're in the US, it's like you can make an LLC in like, what is it, Delaware for $50 and a handshake.
I'm glad you said handshake and not something else.
And then for us, there was more because we had like 4 different kinds of company structures. And then I think like also we were thinking if we were going to be doing it just the 2 of us, if like Jamie and William didn't want to join, we were just going to be like, oh, it's going to be you get like 100% of the company and then we'll just figure it out. Like
where it's like you pay someone
like
a freelance or something like that.
Did you save up a bunch of money before we started? Like the company had no starting capital really.
Yeah, so we had 2,500 euros and we spent most of it on like creating the company. I think.
I had like savings so that the company didn't need to pay me immediately. Yeah. That's the difference. But otherwise, the prep was really not there. Yeah. We have an accountant as well, so...
So basically also in general, if I can give you one piece of advice, or maybe don't listen to me because I'm not that smart, is when you want to do something, don't overanalyze it, try to just do it. I think in general that's a mindset we have at BiteMe, where it's just like we try things, and even if we hit a wall, we fail, we try again.
I think a lot of people overcomplicate like what would be the long-term impact if this doesn't work out. Like I think almost anything except like marriage is like a one-way thing, or like it's not a one-way thing of like if the company didn't perform well.
Yeah, you quit it, you lost
you lose some money. Yeah, we're gonna lose $5,000 or something, let's say, to like close the company in like a year of time. It's like
that's the worst.
It's not like you're gonna go homeless. Like you can stop it before you go homeless, unless you go and do dumb stuff like, oh, I'm gonna get $100,000 loan for my company. Don't do that. Yeah. It's indie game dev. You do not need money to get started. Also, on the other hand, don't start like making a company immediately. Start making games first. You don't need a company to make games.
Like you said, we did 7 months before we were like, okay, let's actually do this.
Yeah. I know it's like, oh, to get the Steam page up, you need to have like an LLC or something, but it's like, you don't need to immediately have the Steam page. Yeah. Your first game doesn't belong on Steam, most likely.
Yeah, and even if it does, you don't have it finished
fast enough
before it really matters that you need to have a Steam page.
Yeah. Can you say the name of the next guy?
Ginzo la menace de la máquina. Damn, I have no clue. Well, I probably missed like 20 letters, but it's a complex name. But yeah, he has basically asked, do you hire someone for your finances, and how do you organize them for taxes? Do you just ball going hard as...
Get an accountant. We have an accountant. And of course, an accountant doesn't do everything for you. Like I still need to collect invoices and all of that. And then I also track all of our expenses every month. Like we have a big spreadsheet. If you want to know more about like how we run our company, and you want to see a month-by-month breakdown, every month I make a video that's like about 40 minutes long, where we go through the Excel spreadsheet. We talk about what happened in the month, what are we spending money on, what are the plans for next month. Patreon.com/BiteMeGames, the monthly business overviews. Super valuable content if you are actually planning on like looking at like, hey, how do people really run a game studio? You're not gonna find a better resource than there. I kind of want to, I think that's just the way it is, obviously. But yeah, you need an accountant. It costs us a lot of money. I think the accountant is the second highest cost for BiteMe except our wages. I think it's gonna be about 2,500, 3,000 euros a month, a year that we spend on it. But it's like, what's the alternative? I go to jail for tax fraud or like tax evasion. So I don't want to do that. And it's like, it's just so much more easy. I don't worry about taxes because I have that accountant. Also the benefit for our accountant, I think it's standard. It's like, they also do my personal taxes because they have everything anyway. I don't have personal taxes I need to deal with. I don't have company taxes I need to deal with. Once every 3 months, I need to make sure all of the invoices are sent to the accountant and then I pay them. And that's it basically. And very nice, 10 out of 10 would recommend still. You can always, when you're planning on starting a company, you can always go to an accountant. The first meeting you do with them is always free. You get a lot of information, all of that. Fast forward, my game has 3 questions, so we're gonna do these one by one.
Are we going to cover all of them?
Yeah, because I think we can do them pretty quick. First off, how do you filter/brainstorm your ideas? What metrics are you using to validate if it's a worthy pursuit?
Fingerspitzengefühl.
Fingerspitzengefühl, yeah.
That's the one-way answer. It's basically...
I think it's once again that thing of like, you guys really think we plan more.
Yeah, because it's basically their ideas, and we always try to really, really shittily prototype.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
2-day prototype, like 1-day prototype, and usually if by like day 1 I'm not sick of it, like a lot of them, like 80% by day 1 I'm like, this is kind of a dumb fucking idea. And then I move on. Sometimes it's a 2-day thing, and it's like, okay, yeah.
So when you're saying metrics and so on, rewind like 5 or 10 minutes in a video where I say don't overcomplicate.
I think what's more important for like MO98, for example, I think also for your game that you're working on.
Oh no.
That's not announced. It is like, I like making visuals first. So fast forward my game, he's also a game dev YouTuber. He's very much of like, make your game ugly first.
Oh, no, I don't.
We are the opposite of like MO98. When I went with that game to William and to you as well, the entire UI, nothing was functional, but the first UI layout was completely made. Visually, the game was there already, because I can make an entire game UI in, I would say, half a day to an entire day. It's kind of the prototype thing. And just on that, William was like, fuck yeah, this looks awesome. And I think that is also an important thing. It's not just about the optimized metrics, it's also the fuck yeah, this looks awesome, let's work on this.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because like...
You also saw that pitch deck that I made. Like for you, I made a pitch deck of like, this is the game. And you're like, fuck yeah, this looks awesome.
Yeah, and when I was working on the game, I don't know if it's announced yet what I'm working on, but either way, it's like, I worked on it and it was like looking shitty. And I rediscovered my love for the game once I started making the actual world. Because it was like, damn, this looks good. We can do something. And I don't have to say you have to polish everything, but you can do like a first pass. So at least it's getting close to the vision that you have.
Yeah, BiteMe Games is a company that we start always visuals. Dakota anomaly and Overtime anomaly were both, fuck, these like asset packs look so nice. I bet I can make a game with this. Then we prototype a little level or something. And it's like, yeah, this is good. Let's make the rest of the game now. Where we go for visual appeal first, I think, as like our idea filter. Second question, what was a game design lesson you didn't fully understand until you launched your games? I think maybe let's not just look at game design. Like game design lesson you didn't fully understand. For MO98, it's an easy one. No matter how you intend for people to play the game, people will play it differently than you expect, and you're gonna like scream and yell of like, why are you playing it like this? Like for example, people playing our game designed for 4 hours of gameplay, expecting 20 hours, and then also playing in that playstyle of like playing MO98 as if it is a true idler and not like a semi-active incremental game.
I don't think of something really immediately. The first thing that I maybe learned is Forge Industry, because it was the first game. It was like, we thought it was mechanically deep at the moment, because I think from a programming perspective, which is the first game we made, we found it challenging to make. But I don't think that correlates to the gameplay actually being deep or mechanics being deep, just because they are hard to create, so to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first thing, because it was like, we implemented a lot of things, but in the end it looks really simple. Like the way the workers walk and so on, it's like, okay, they just walk, but it was like, no, it was really complex to make this, that. But that doesn't translate. And one of the biggest flaws in Forge Industry is, I think, a lack of gameplay variety, where it's like everything kind of
does the same, yeah.
And I think that we didn't see that, first of all, because we didn't have experience, but also because it didn't feel like us that way to us, because every individual within we had to do things because our code worked like that. So that doesn't map is probably what I would say.
Yeah. Editing mornings from the future here. If you just listen to this previous part of like Forge Industry and us not really knowing back then when we were new game developers of like, is this actually good or not? Because you're missing that overarching vision of like what is actually good on Steam and what isn't, and what is something that appeals and what doesn't. And you want to prevent the same mistake as we did by just shipping it and then realizing, oh, turns out that nobody's buying this. There's a link down below if you want to work with me. We go through your prototype or whatever stage your game is in right now, and we decide like, hey, is this good? If so, how do we make this even better? Is this something that might have potential but needs a pivot, or it's just something that unfortunately we're gonna have to kill? And how do we then not make those same mistakes again? I think it's a pretty good deal. It's linked down below, like I said, and let's go back to the video because there's a lot of cool questions coming up still.
And then last one, do you firmly believe your ability to launch multiple games has closed the gap of avoiding failure, has it helped you become more consistent in profiting when designing a new game? Like, I think MO98, I have this also when I do like the live streams where I play your guys' games. Something that kind of started this year, I feel, is I started seeing like, oh, you can fix this game by this one simple thing. There's like one push this button and your game is gonna be 10 times better. And I didn't see those things up until pretty recently. And that is just from having gone through making games so many times, from having made so many mistakes, and not just making the mistakes, but then having to deal with it when you get like negative reviews and be like, hey, this is an actual problem I made. And then looking at something and be like, oh, I was talking with someone and they showed me their game and they're like, yeah, the game feels kind of too static. It's like an incremental game. It's like, oh, what if you just made like little balls fly from like the button that you press to like your resource? And it's like, it's such a dumb small thing, it changes the game entirely. And I think those are kind of the things that you can only get better at. You can't read those things in books because they're so hyper-specific and niche.
It's once again the fingerspitz.
It comes from experience and nothing else. And how do you get experience? You make more games. Yeah. And I think you spend time on making games. It's like technically how you make experience, but making games multiple is a multiplier for like the hour. So let's say every hour you do game dev, you get 1 XP, but every time you've released a game, that goes times 1.5 or whatever, so that you get 1.5 XP, and then the second game you get 2 XP, and kind of like you grow faster. Technically, you'll still get better if you spend 5,000 hours on one game, but making 50 games with 100 hours each, or whatever the mod works out, is going to make you grow way better.
Yeah, we talked about this in the past, where it's like you just have to put in the reps, like you're in a gym, and you basically evolve yourself. Like we mentioned it, like I don't know in what video, but it's like in a way, BiteMe is an incremental game. How do you play an incremental game? You do upgrades.
And then you prestige.
And you prestige, and every time we're working, we make a lot of upgrades. We then release our game. We learned a lot of things. We take that knowledge. We have something to build upon because we just released the game, and we can go higher and higher all the time.
Next up, for YDAM, I guess, like ADAM, I guess. How do you create $1 million game idea? Could make a video out of this Lamau. Take a look at that video over there. I have like a 1-hour video on how to get good game ideas, but more of a, how do you come up with game ideas that are even worth prototyping? Since it's hard nowadays to be original and have something unique, what's your process behind it? Do you come up with a lot of game ideas? I feel like I'm very much the dedicated game idea guy at BiteMe.
There are a lot of games that I want to make, but they're not games that are probably fitting on our vision on how we should work.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of disconnect. But in general, I think the second part is where you say something original and something unique. I don't think every game has to be that way. Don't shoot me, it's controversial, I know. But like, there's a lot of games that are like more of the same, or just improvement of, or whatever. I think they're like, you had Stardew Valley, which was a massive hit, and then you have like so many games that like derive from it basically, and some of them are improve Stardew Valley on some ways, and in like a specific mechanic, for example, or they had a twist or whatever, and I think that's completely fine. You don't have to always be genre-defining, massive indie hit like Stardew Valley or Mega Bonk or whatever. We operate at a scale that is different. If you want to get there, I'm sure you can, but then you need a 1 out of a billion ID basically.
Yeah.
And you don't always get that. Timing has to be right, like also controversial, but Stardew Valley released 10 years ago by now. Stardew Valley would have still performed good, but I don't think it would have performed as good, for example, in today's market, where it's like expectations change over the years and so on. So basically, I don't think you need to put that much effort into being specifically original. Like the first pitch for Forge Industry, I think was still really good, which is like,
it's an automation.
Yeah, it's an automation game. It's like Factorio, but you don't have conveyor belts. It was like, what do you mean? The genre-defining trait is that it has conveyor belts. And it was like, no, we put this twist on it.
Yeah.
And then we have it, and because of that one change, the game, if we executed it correctly, would have been completely brand new, and it would have been really cool, I think.
Yeah, people also don't want brand new unique often. They want something that's familiar but better.
Yeah, or familiar but with a twist.
Yeah, so how did we come up with MO98? I looked at Execute. Execute is like, hey, this game did good. I liked it. I'm gonna read through all of the reviews. What's all of the negative reviews saying about this game? This is bad. Like, for example, a big problem with Execute is you kill people. And it's kind of a disconnect of like, yeah, but why is it Windows 98? Like, you can kill people, like, the Windows 98 didn't really add to the team as much of killing people. So then I started thinking, okay, what can we do that does fit with like a Windows 98 team? And then I drew in from personal inspiration as well of, hey, I used to work as a data center architect. And that's basically where the idea came from. It's like, hey, data center, MMO, hey, what if we do old school MMO? And it's like an actual OS. And that's where the idea came from, basically. That's simple, honestly. Yep. And we just looked at what is everything that Execute did wrong and how do we improve upon that?
I think, for example, one of the reasons you come up with a lot of ideas, and I also think they are good, is because you kind of have a lot of exposure to them.
Yeah.
Because, for example, on stream, we look at you guys.
We get a lot of games submitted. I look at Steam every single day also. I think that's a very good habit to have as a game developer. Just open Steam and look at like, hey, what is in the daily deal? What's in the new and trending? Like, what's popping right now? And then just look at that as well to get a better idea.
So if you want a $1 million game idea, I think the number one tip is get more exposure to all the games, the market, Steam, whatever you want to call it.
Next up, we have Lucas Ossoch. In your opinion, what's something that people in the game dev community don't talk about enough? I have some spicy shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you have
I need to think first.
You need to think. Okay, this is gonna get me cancelled.
Oh, great. Is it gonna get me cancelled because I'm sitting next to you?
I don't know. I think game dev has too much toxic positivity. There is this idea that I don't fully disagree with, but I also think people get it wrong. Game dev is not a zero-sum game. As in, like, you know, a zero-sum game is like if you're, for example, betting on a sports game, one person wins, the other person loses. It's just like one wins, one loses. Game dev is like, if two game devs release a game, it's not like, oh, if you bought the first game, you will never buy the second game. It's not like zero-sum in that regard. But I think a lot of people are too friendly almost, and they get fucked over as well because of this. Because they go into game dev with that hippie idea of everyone is friends, we're all here to help and support each other. And that's a good mindset to have. Like, I think game dev is a very happy vibe place, but I think a lot of people are almost purposefully ignoring the fact that there is a lot of bad shit going on in game dev as well, or just are like blind to it because they wouldn't even assume that anyone tries to fuck them over. I don't want to like, I can pull up like names, but that's not my goal here. But I think that's kind of the problem. And that also makes you not be aware enough of the realities of like game dev, I guess.
I actually agree with it. I don't think it's that hot even. Maybe to them it is, but I completely agree because...
I think if you're a beginner game dev, you feel like, oh, la-di-da-di-da, every game developer, we're all homies and all friends and you do bundles with each other and all of those things. But I think
but even like...
you still need to have professional relationships in game dev. And a lot of people think it's just like personal relationships with other developers, but it is still business at the end of the day. And yeah, sure, you can benefit from like having bundles and cooperating and making similar games and whatever, but I think also to a certain degree there is a cutthroatness of like, if you're not first to market or like whatever, like I can still steal game ideas. That still happens. It's maybe not the like most sexy thing, but it is a very big part of like game ideas do get stolen. It's something that you guys do not need to worry about if you're just a beginner game dev, but like if you go to like semi-pro or like professional level indie game developers, and then also you deal with publishers and all of that, they do not have your best interest. A lot of people do not have your best interests in mind. But it's like, oh, everything is nice. And you kind of just ignore that.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a happy bubble. But I also think it's dangerous for beginners because exactly that. Mm-hmm. Because I think we've been to like events or seen games where it's like, you're always very critical of what you see.
Yeah,
but I'll not, like, look at the first footage of Forge Industry we put online.
Yeah.
It's dog shit. You should not post that online, basically.
If you show that down,
if you put that in, for example, a Discord based on game dev, because a lot of people will say, wow, that looks great, whatever. And you're like, wow, I'm doing great. But if you put that to the market, you get destroyed.
Even in like our Discord server, we have like, it's a very awesome Discord server, it's linked down below. We have like channels of like, improve my game. And people post like, hey, this is my Steam page, this is my game or whatever. And I think our Discord server, people have permission to be more real because I'm also like, even like patrons, even people who give me money or don't give me money, it's like, if you're making a shitty asset flip or a game that's just not good enough, I will tell you. But a lot of other like game dev subreddits, they will not. They will either say nothing or they will be like, hey, it looks really awesome. And it's like, if you're aiming at any level of commercial release, this is not it. You need to get better. That's another thing. Yeah, it's kind of different of what I was talking about, the difference between like, you're like, there's too much happy vibes, as in like, everyone is pushing each other like, this is very good. You also see it like on like the game dev subreddit, of like, my first game got released and I only made $40 or something, and then you have all of the comments of like,
you released, that's
the most important part, just keep releasing games and whatever. And it's like, it's kind of too late now. It's like, you should have done better. What I'm talking more about is like really like, if you look at it from like the business angle of like other people are also running businesses and they are also trying to feed their families. And often they will...
A lot of competitiveness.
They will still compete with you. It will just not be visible from the surface that they are competing with you. But people hate each other as well in game dev, like studios and things like that. Next up, we have Matthias Paulina 9891. You made a video a while back about using Bezi for Unity development. Do you still use Bezi or other AI tools for rapid prototype or game development? And if so, are you planning to try Unity's new AI open beta tools? I left this in. It's a hot topic. First of all, our Discord, AI is banned on our Discord for a reason, because you cannot respond back to me to a certain degree. That's why we talk about this on the videos. Our Discord server, we have a lot of people in our audience who are pro AI. Also have a lot of people in our audience who are fucking giga anti-AI. Both are there. However you want to see it, that's fine. It's just not our Discord, it's just not the place to talk about it. We use Bezi for Unity development. It's not just for the sponsor. I like it. I do genuinely like Bezi. I'm more aware now of the limitations of Bezi as well. Like, Busy is good indeed for like rapid prototyping. If I make like a game like prototype in 1 or 2 days, fuck yeah, I'm gonna use that shit because it's so much faster. I could never got anywhere near. And for me, making dirty code that shows the appeal and the visuals of the game is more important. You've been playing around with like MCPs or something, I think.
Yeah, so I have a plugin now for Unity MCP server, and I use Codex to talk to it somehow. Sometimes I don't use it that often because
I think what's important is like you and William also know how to program.
Yeah.
And the approach that I had for M198, we use Busy and like some points as well. Where do we use it? If it's a standalone thing, like for example, I want my button feel. I let my button feel as AI generated because I can just describe, if I click this button, I want this to happen, I want it to ease in, I want it to feel like this. It's just so much faster to do it that way.
I think the pitfall of AI is, for example, if you're a newbie, you start working, you make code that's
Complex
not
systems,
yeah,
it's
not
fucked.
expandable.
Yeah.
Not expandable. For example, you had a request for a game I'm working on now to have multiple save slots.
Yeah.
And it was like, sure, but if you completely AI generate that shit, it's probably going to break everywhere. Now it was like still a bit of work,
But you
it's
know
pretty
everything.
easy.
Yeah.
And also other systems, like for example, let's say you have a time manager with like day,
Yeah.
night, and so on. Yeah, if you completely AI generate it, it probably is very tightly coupled, which means, okay, I have this new mechanic, I want to like link it somehow to the time system, and it's like, wait, there are now things that are breaking again.
Or it like it
whatever.
doesn't have like consistent design patterns or whatever. Like I think for us the hard thing is like anything that's not core game code, it's like it will never touch core game code. Also like Unity editors, like custom editors.
Oh, I love it.
Amazing. It's like, for example, for MO98, I'm like, I have all of these scriptable objects for like my upgrades. Make me a visual skill tree editor for it where I can drag and drop them and easily change the values, and then also like color code them based on how expensive they are, so I can like quickly visually see 2 minutes and it's there. And it's like, this is amazing. But that is not like, that code technically doesn't get shipped, I think, because it's an editor tool. However,
Yeah,
what like
editor tool doesn't get shipped.
fine with that. But I think for like actual making games, you have like the vibe jam shit and things like that. It's, if you're making mobile games, maybe, but I think Steam, it's still very, very far away. You need to.
I think you can do it for, you can do it if you know what code is being generated and you review it. That's the minimum. And if you just do it on vibes alone, I think you will hit a wall at some point, unless your game is really small scope. I do like it though, I use it a lot.
Yeah, as for the Unity specific AI open beta, I don't really know. I don't have like much of a desire. I also don't use it that much. Maybe I'll play around with it. Also, like, I'm so fucking Unity Sentis, Unity Muse. Unity's been doing AI for so long and it's been garbage the entire time, so I'm kind of like not super excited. Maybe it's different, but I don't really feel like, I don't know how it's gonna be basically. Next up, from Seri1341. If you could make a game using someone else's IP, anyone's, which IP would you choose to adapt? Keep in mind you only get to use the IP and don't suddenly have access to a bunch of money or employees. Do you know what IP means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intellectual property.
Yes.
I'm thinking about things that I like, so I would probably choose something like League.
Oh, a League game.
Because they have like a very, like a massive amount of lore. And you can pick specific champions depending on the game you want.
I think
it's a lot of flexibility.
And I think we could make a League game ourselves as well.
Yeah, so just with that IP. Or I would choose something that I just love, like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch things like...
But like Lord of the Rings is going to be probably pretty asset heavy and all of those things. And then it becomes... I think we could make like a League incremental game or whatever.
Yeah, but you could also probably make some simulator game in Lord of the Rings universe.
Yeah.
So, but I think, yeah, probably League, because I think you have like so many champions, they have so much lore, all those things. There is bound to be something that you can map. So Riot, if you're watching this, hit me up.
I'm thinking about like... Part of me wants to go for like the, not like niche, but like some of the sci-fi media I really like. Like either The Expanse would probably be one, but they already do like IP games and they're kind of meh. Or like the Expeditionary Force series. But otherwise, another one would be like some like actual Nintendo IP.
Ooh.
You could do fun. I think either I want to go hyper niche or I want to go like untouchable level of like,
Nintendo's also a good one.
Yeah, like a Nintendo or like a Disney, I don't know, like a Cars game.
No, I wouldn't want to make a card game.
Not like Cars, but like, I think like something with like, maybe not like Pokemon even.
I think Pokemon is too big of a...
Yeah, but like...
then again, you have like things like PokéRogue and so on.
Yeah, but they're like, the monetization is like weird if it's like fan project, whatever, but like...
Yeah, but I mean, in this case we have permission.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But it's also, I'm also like thinking of like, what can we actually, like if we get Pokemon, like we need to make all the Pokemon models.
No,
that's kind
we
of
just ask it.
You think we can ask those?
Yeah, if you partner with someone, I assume they have like very strict restrictions on how they are.
It's because they say like, oh, you don't have access to money or employees.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying, because it's like if you have to model 1,000 Pokemon.
It's like, fuck this shit. Yeah, so either giga niche or very, very mainstream, I think would be the two options. Next up, Krik Rimp asked the question. I thought this was so random. Thomas, what do you think about bagged milk?
It's weird. Like even if you see it, it looks weird.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I honestly, I have zero. I've never even seen it, I feel.
The thing is, what was it? In the US they do bagged milk, in Canada not, or the other way around?
In Canada they do bagged milk, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Because why? I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is in the US, but here we have like cartons, or how it's called. I think that's better for the environment, from what I understand, because otherwise it's just plastic.
I have no idea. I mean, you can recycle them. I don't know.
Yeah, I also don't know. But it just looks weird.
I have zero opinion on bagged milk. If you want to use it, go for it.
Yeah, if you want to use it, you do you. Just don't give me a bag of milk.
Yeah. And a last one by RA9Dev. What are the plans for the BiteMe 2030? So I guess only 2030? What are we gonna do in 2030 only? Release 5 games in 2030.
Doesn't he mean like what do you want to achieve by then?
Oh no, I'm interpreting on purpose this question as like as if it's end of 2029 right now, and they're asking us what's the plan for next year. And not anything up until then. So we're gonna release 5 games in 2030. You've heard it here before, or the first.
You think so? Or do we have so much money by then that we think like we can do longer scope projects and we only release like 1 or 2?
I think we can I think we'll release more games still. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna have 4 new courses that year as well. Every quarter, 1 new course, 1 game, and then...
Yeah. We're going to give Marnix a pay cut, and by me, my 4th Lamborghini.
we're gonna start the car channel or something. Yeah. Where you just like, every month buy some new supercar and review it.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's also like, I'm not a car guy, so it's like the most stupid ass reviews, like, this thingy looks nice. When I press the pedal, it goes vroom vroom.
Yeah, and we're gonna move to like the Cayman Islands for tax evasion reasons. Yeah. Tax optimization reasons.
Yeah.
So those are the plans. Stay tuned. Go and subscribe. Be with us for the next, 4 years? And you can see what it's like for us.
Yeah, and the catchphrase for that year is we're gonna make a $10 billion studio.
Every time, so this year is the $1 million, next year 10 million, 100 million, billion, so 2030 is going to be the $10 billion studio.
There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a very high rate though, because we're going to like overtake
10x.
Apple in like 3 years after that, like 2033 or something.
Yeah, don't you think that's realistic? Also because we don't want to expand by I was going to say, like, weren't
we talking earlier about like how we don't want to go for that happen? Like
no, I don't want to have more headcount. But I want to have more money. So we just do the money part without the headcount. We're gonna have like, it's like the same with like Steam, isn't it? Like on average, a Steam employee earns Valve like 1 million.
Like something? Yeah, like they have a very high amount of.
Yeah, like we're gonna do the same, but then we're like 3 people, 10 billion. So every one of us is 3.3 billion a year. I'll take it if I can. Sure, we'll do it.
Anyways. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Yeah. I hope you'll learn some new stuff.
Yeah, from our grounded takes.
if you have more questions, I don't know, head over to our Discord channel. Probably is the better one, because I don't know when we would do another Q&A. But
or call Marnix at 04.
You didn't include country code, so they can't call me to begin with.
MMO98 UPT 69.
That's my phone number?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
Put it on the screen, right?
Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.